Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Make a Move. This is season 1, and I do believe it is episode 5. Excuse me. If it's a little bit of an echo, it's because like I'm in a enclosed location, and I am out of town, which is why the review is a little bit late. But I'm not far. I'm not far, just a couple hours away. I came out for a festival, so I'm gonna do that today. But I wanted to get my video done first. So let's talk about what happened on the show. So Ashley has decided to keep Kirsten around. I don't think it's a good decision. I'm not really feeling Kirsten like that. And I also don't believe that Ashley is thinking clearly when it comes to Kirsten, but I'll talk a little bit more about that as the episode continues. We see Tamika talking to Cameron, and Cameron does admit that he done stepped the style up for his girl. I said, all right, Zadia. Sharice sent Maurice home. Nobody cares. Maurice says that Sharice is going to miss him. Nobody's going to miss you, Maurice. I wish I had his level of confidence, but he does have the personality of a penny, and so nobody really cares. Next, we have Ashley doing a crab boil. I sure wish I had been there. Crab boil. Jambalaya. Looked like they had a couple scrimps. I sure wish I was there. But now that the fellas have been eliminated, oh, guess who is being consistent? Guess who's conversing? Guess who's trying? Guess who wants to take Sharice out and show her the town? Maurice. Yes, ladies, we know how it goes. Once you say, you know what, I'm not feeling it like that, all of a sudden, they got to prove themselves. Only for you to show interest again, and for them to once again let them know that they don't really want you like that. That's usually how it goes. That's usually the push pull. It seems that what's the one that was there for Ashley, he's also being more consistent. Donald, he's being more consistent now that he's been eliminated. Now Donald, I feel a little bit differently about, because it seemed like he wanted to make the changes once he got called out about it, but he didn't really get a chance to make said changes because she decided to go into another direction. If I were Ashley and Sharice, I wouldn't mind keeping some type of connections open, but I would just let both of those gentlemen know, I'm still dating other people, but if you are wanting to try, you can. We can just work on, maybe more of a friendship, which is what Ashley said, but once they're attracted to you, is there really a friendship? Who's to say? But anyway, y'all, let's move on. So there's a surprise during the crab boil. I can't talk. There's a surprise during the crab boil. Tamika has decided to invite some old friends over to help the ladies make a decision. So we get all of the girls meeting up with people that were on previous seasons of Ready to Love with them. The only curveball was really Sharice's. Hers was RJ, which RJ actually would have been somebody that she probably went on dates with on Ready to Love. It wasn't one of the ladies, but I guess having a guy's opinion isn't too bad, not too bad of an idea. But that part was just funny because you see a bunch of girls come in and then you see RJ. All right. So we got Crazy Camille back. Y'all remember Camille tried to take us out that season. I have no idea if she's still with Cornelius. I actually believe she is. But she is going to help Zadia help Zadia kind of see some things she might be overlooking. Zadia tells her, look, I know normally you like to really take it up, but let's keep it at a 6. Let's keep it at a hot 6. They have like a sisterly bond, so they say, but it's also a little bit of shade going between the two of them. Camille calls Zadia the sister she never wanted, and Zadia was like, she's like a very protective big sister who speaks her mind even when I do not need her telling me anything and I don't want her to speak it. She does. She thinks she knows what's best for me. Camille turns on her crazy, but not to the level that we know she can. When Cameron sits down, he asks for a little sip of Zadia's coffee, and Camille's like, oh, so y'all already kissed? Y'all must have already kissed since he drinking out your coffee. I mean, what else have y'all done? Is it just kissing? I said, Camille, enough. So then sis pulls out a notebook, and I busted out laughing. We know that Cameron is a doctor. We also know he does photography. Seems like he may have some other pots in the fire as well. So Camille wants to know, are you going to have time for her? Like, how does your busyness fit into the relationship? he does say that even though he has a lot of stuff going, he's hoping to get those things going well enough to where he will have a lot of free time, and those things will work for themselves. But that's going to take another year or so. Okay, speaking of a year or so, what do you think about moving? Like, are you tied to Louisiana? And he does seem tied to the South. He said that he does not want to go back up north after living in Omaha, being in the cold, being in the snow. That's not really where he wants to be. So DC, probably not a good look for him. Now, I thought the ladies had joined the cast to make a move on their end, right? So I didn't think it was about the gentleman making a move. Of course, there does have to be compromise, but I just assume if you're coming on a show called Make a Move, you're the one that's willing to make the move. Y'all, am I thinking about that the right way? Distance relationships are always, you always come to this point and it's always very hard to make that decision. But I thought that the ladies, by default, had already made the decision. Zadia is not attached to Louisiana. She's been trying to like it, but it's hot in the morning, it's hot at night, it's hot when she's going to sleep. It's just always hot. And so she's not really sure and wonders if Cameron could make that compromise if needed. So Camille has helped her to see that he's definitely tied to the South. Okay, next we have Vernisha and Liz. They are meeting up with Jabari. Liz immediately seems to take to Jabari. She likes how down to earth he is, and he seems to be charismatic and funny and all of those things that everybody says about Jabari when they first meet him. She asks him, what is your definition of success? How do you define it? And Jabari says that he defines it as peace. When you come home and everybody in your house is happy, when you're peaceful, that's success. And okay, good answer. Then she asks, how do you feel about women who are successful in business? And he was like, he doesn't have a problem with women being successful as long as when you come home, you know how to turn that off. Like if she knows how to turn it off when she gets home, that's fine. You could be a boss out there, but when you come in here, you're not the boss. All right? You got to turn it off. You could tell Liz is like, I don't know. So then Vernisha says, well, leadership sometimes can be like a 24-hour thing. It don't always turn off at 5 o'clock. It just kind of depends on how your day is going. Sometimes it's a 24-hour thing. It's not really a 5 o'clock thing. And Jabari is looking at her like, you better turn it off at 5 o'clock because I'm not having it. That would have to stop. Liz also brings up, I thought Vernisha, I know she owns a hair salon, but maybe she does like events and some other things. And so she probably does hair events as well. Cause I know in Houston, we have a lot of little pop-up shops, and if you sell product, it's always something going on. So she says that Vernisha sometimes is called on for events and she might be out till 9 o'clock, 9:30. Is that something that is going to be bothersome for you? How do you feel about her being in that kind of life? And Jabari was like, I don't know. I've never been confronted with that. I know for me, I like my woman home at my woman is home when I'm home. In the evening time, I'm going to bed about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I do HR. I'm at home. And it sounds like to me he wants his woman to be home as well. They do talk about compromise, but not in a way where I feel like Jabari is saying you have to compromise. I think to me, it sounded like Jabari was saying, yes, there does have to be some compromise. And if you want something and if you want something to work, but it sounded like he was addressing that to the women. Like, if you want something to work, you be home before 9:30 because I'm not having it, and I don't care if you're working. Okay, so what did I think about this? I think that Liz did a good job of showing Vernisha some things that maybe she should have been overlooking. I don't think Vernisha was overlooking this. I feel like Jabari has made this pretty apparent. My thoughts about Jabari are the same as they were last week. I feel like he got a microphone at the house and he's just warming it up, getting it ready to talk about how ungrateful we are. I feel like he definitely listens to a lot of that rhetoric, and I don't really have a problem with anybody listening to anything. My only thing is also make sure you, what does the Bible say? To study to show thyself approved. You need to make sure you're doing some study, not only on yourself, but also study on the essence of who women and men are. And I feel like if you're not doing that, you will just take what anybody tells you and be like, yes, that's it, that's the one. Now, it's fine to be more traditional, which it seems like what Jabari is, but he has, to me, one of those understandings of what is a man and what is a woman and what is masculine and feminine. And he has one of those understandings that's, I don't want to say antiquated, but it's rooted in roles, not actually essence and energy. So I always tell people, don't use the words feminine or masculine, because that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about what your idea of man role and women's role is, and that's fine, but don't intertwine the two. Because if you understood the essence of masculinity and femininity, you would know that there are some times where man must lead and there are some times where woman must lead. Like that's literally the essence of it, because you won't have the strength in everything. There's some things women have more strength in, and there's something men have more strength in. And it's not just rooted in cooking and cleaning. Right? But it's hard to explain that to people without folks being like, oh, you trying to push an agenda. I'm not. And I actually learned these things from reading books that men wrote. That's the irony of it. Men who've been in relationships and married for many, many years, okay, not still struggling like some of you. But anyway, let's move forward with the rest of the show. All right, so LJ and Sharice go out with, y'all, I forgot this man's name, and it doesn't matter if I forgot it, because I got a feeling we won't be seeing much of him. So it was the guy she went out with last week. He was 50 years old. LJ is asking him about things that he likes to do. Do you like to travel? Do you like adventure? And he says he's pretty quiet. He's more of an in-house type of guy. He has been doing some vacationing. He took himself on his first solo trip to Dallas, which is only a couple of hours away. So Sharice is just like, mm-mm. Now, I didn't really have a problem with it, because he did say he's been focused on raising his son. And a lot of times with men, they don't really treat themselves like women do. You know, like me, I'm big on self-care. I'm big on a solo trip. You know, whatever makes me feel good, I'm going to do it. And that's something I do for me. Most guys I meet don't really do stuff for them. They do stuff when they have a woman, and they might do stuff for their kids. They don't really do anything that they truly enjoy outside of exercising and, you know, maybe going to like a sport. Sorry, I had to pause. Somebody was coming up to me. But anyway, they just really don't seem to necessarily do things for themselves. So him going to Dallas as his first solo trip wasn't really surprising to me. It's more so about, are you interested in doing more? And it doesn't sound like it to me. It sounds like he is comfortable with the life that he has, and maybe doing some local stuff or taking a walk, ice cream. And LJ is like, you know, Sharice is adventurous. Sharice likes to go on more extravagant dates. This probably isn't going to work. So we might keep this one in the drafts. Okay, so next we have Stormi and Ashley. And y'all, oh gosh, this is so hard to talk about. So first, Stormi shows up. She got a tight little dress on, and Ashley is like, wow, you know, is this your date or my date? She got the cleavage out. I mean, she looks good. At first I was like, okay, maybe she just one of those people that gets real snazzy. Okay, cool, you know. So they sit down, and Kirsten comes in, and he makes some kind of comment, and I didn't type it in my notes, y'all, but it came off as flirtatious to me. It really did. He kind of was looking at Stormi, like, you know, I got two of them in front of me, so, you know, it's time for me to entertain. He gets to turn it on his razzle dazzle. Stormi's asking if he has a brother. He is like, oh, you still single? You dating? I might have to hook you up with one of my brothers. And Ashley is like, am I even here? Stormi, girl, are you here for me? Are you here for yourself? This is not about you. So Ashley gets up, because she's like, well, let me just let y'all hash it out amongst each other. And she tells the production, look, if she not gonna be here for me, then what's the point? I don't even need to be here. And that conversation that she had to the side let me know I think they just brought who was available for Ashley. I don't think her and Stormi talk like that. I can tell Camille and Zadia probably still have a relationship. Vernisha and Liz, just by the excitement that Vernisha had to see Liz, makes me think that they probably do still have somewhat of a relationship. Maybe not tight, but somewhat of something going on. And they both live in Houston. Stormi, I'm just not really sure. Have you even talked to Ashley? Do y'all keep up with each other? Like, it wasn't given that to me at all, because Ashley didn't even feel like she could pull Stormi to the side to say that to her. She said it to production. So I understood her being upset about it. I definitely wish it could have been handled differently, but I don't even know which other way it was to handle it. If her and Stormy were actually friends, I would have pulled her to the side and told her. But like I said, I don't feel like they're all that close. Maybe once upon a time, but not now. Kirsten was getting on my nerves, and Stormy was too. So there's that. Then they go on blind dates. I'm gonna make this quick. I like the outfit that Zadia wore to meet Dylan. Not sure why I needed to say that. Dylan was nervous. Dylan just moved to Louisiana. He's a teacher teaching English, and he's dyslexic. I said, boy, you better go for the prize. Ain't nothing too hard for you, huh? And he hasn't really been in Louisiana long. This seems like a fresh start for him. He gets really tongue-tied when Zadia asks him, what kind of dates would you take me on in the future? And she asks, do you like older women? Because Zadia is 37, he's 31. So this date was to put Dylan out there. This was to let the ladies know Dylan is single, he teach English, and he live out here in Louisiana if y'all want to take a stab at it. So I'm not even taking this seriously, but Zadia does let her know that most of her heart, 45%, not most, is with Cameron. And that's all she can think about when she's on dates. Then we have Mizell, who meets with Sharice. Honey, they get the dance, and Mizell was cute. I was like, okay. I kind of wanted him for myself. He's seasoned. He got his church shoes on, his crisp jeans. I tried to see if he had a crease in the middle. But they do a little dance, and Sharice is loosening up, and good, because Sharice is real stiff, child. She's stiff in life. She just seems stiff. They both got dogs. Might get the dogs together to go on a date. And he seemed like he really was into her, and he asked her for a birthday. I said, not a fellow zodiac person like myself. But he tells her that he's a Pisces. I said, ooh, girl, he a freak. You need to see about that. So Sharice wanted to dance again, which let me know that she probably was really feeling him. I didn't really catch what his occupation was, but I felt like they had a decent date, and hopefully she gives Mizell a chance again. Then we have Jabari and Vern. I'm sorry, y'all. I got Vern in my notes. Vernisha. Jabari and Vernisha, they go out. They do perfume making, which is actually really fun. I did perfume making in Paris with my friend, and y'all, when I tell y'all, the teacher was so frustrated with me because I could not get my scents together. I was just having such a hard time. After you smell so much stuff, it all smells the same, and I was just really, but now that I have my perfume, I only wear it every now and then. I really love it, and we ended up calling it compliqué because that is French for complicated, and I was quite complicated the whole class. But Vernisha does a much better job than me, and Jabari says for his fragrance, he wants to make sure that Vernisha likes it. So Vernisha was flattered because it's about her. What else happened? She asked him about his life and stuff that he likes to do, and he said he likes to have fun, but it's not just about fun. He also manages a restaurant. He has some real estate. He owns a radio station, so he can be pretty busy. And for Vernisha, that's music to her ears because she's a busy lady as well. She's an entrepreneur, and it's nice to meet another fellow entrepreneur that understands what she has to go through. He also asks her what she likes to do for fun because he wants to know what they're going to do on their second date and then their third date, which was cute. So I like Jabari. It seems like they definitely have the same kind of lifestyle, so that might work better for her than Jabari. Ashley goes on a date with Chris, and they go on a paint and sip. He's funny. He tells her about his nickname, Boxhead. But then we find out his last relationship was 3 or 4 months ago. So make a move. What the hell? Like, he ain't ready to be with nobody, and ain't nobody trying to be no rebound. So I ain't even talking about that. Let's get to the end. Okay, y'all, this is the end. So Camille says that she doesn't think Zadia and Cameron are equally yoked because he's not going to have time for her. He's not going to be able to be attentive, and she going to date him anyway. But Zadia does say that Camille has been right about a particular person in the past when she's expressed that it might not work, and so she does value her opinion and was glad that she came. Then we have Liz. Liz says Jabari is down to earth, however, he doesn't seem very willing to compromise, and she's concerned that he's not the right fit. Couldn't have said it better myself. Then we have RJ. RJ thought he was a nice, good guy with nice energy. However, Sharice is adventurous. Sharice likes more elaborate dates and likes to travel, and he seems like a homebody type of guy. Now, Tamika tries to throw in that sometimes you need somebody to show you something, and that's true, y'all, but Sharice is 44 and he's 50. Like, come on. They ain't no kids. I feel like if you a homebody at 50, you probably want to be a homebody. And if you want to do more, then you make it known. Like, hey, I am a homebody, but I've been looking to get out more. He didn't really suggest that. So Tamika, girl, is like I said, I heard this was your part-time job and it's showing. Stormy ain't even there, which further confirmed to me they not cool like that. And Ashley just pretty much said she acted like it was her day, and I don't even really feel like talking about this. So next week, I hope she sends Kirsten home. Bring Donald back, I guess, because that seems to be the only person that's really working with. And I hope that Sharice goes out on another date with Menzel, I think that was his name, or Mizell. I hope that Vernisha gets rid of Jabari and keeps Tabari and goes out with him a little bit more. And I think Zadia and Cameron will continue to keep a good thing going. So you guys let me know what you thought about this episode. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.